Sucking on my own dick. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my own dick. Sucking on my dick. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our own dicks. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our dicks. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my dicks.
So many times I have I do the clap sync and then hit record. Like I've done it like at least half the videos that we've made so far. I've had to like manually sync it like and spent so long doing.
Oh, really? So I haven't even been catching it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hopefully did a good job, but
No. I mean, I haven't even been catching it when you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's ever been one that's been like out of sync to my eyes.
okay, good.
But
Yeah.
we'll see. It can still happen. Yeah, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you've kind of got a one-man band thing going with like no, you're flying without a producer, so you're like, I mean, honestly, it feels like in old movies when like they, come on, kids, family photo, and the dad has to like run back to be in the picture.
That is true. But I mean, for the most part, it works out.
Yeah,
like,
no, totally.
For the most part, like podcasts, I'm like, what is your producer? Like, if the cameras aren't switching, I'm like, what's that guy doing?
Collecting a paycheck,
Yeah.
or in Lemaire's, well, never
Just
mind.
smoking weed.
Yeah. I mean, the editing and stuff takes more work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that on. Well, I guess it makes sense because it's live. I didn't realize that Jamie does like the live camera cutting, like between him and
Yeah, that makes
whoever
sense.
Jordan Peterson.
I guess
or
also
something.
I mean, it would be better to have someone like writing the levels, but it's not that bad.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not going to get better. Live with it.
It's not going to get better until the Patreon's a little bit, a little
it'll
bit
get
more.
better.
Then
See?
then we'll start adding some more production value.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're back with Isaac Hirsch. This is part 2.
Hello.
The bonus. Yeah, this is the first time we haven't done one of these back to back in a minute.
It's true. I said an hour worth of things, and now we're gonna say another hour worth of things.
You don't have anything to say?
No, I'm
have
out
we
of things.
expended everything for this
No,
week?
that's not true. I'm moving out of me and Nick's house. That's interesting.
Yeah, he doesn't have to listen to fucking Tony Bartolone doing his ridiculous characters at 2 a.m.
It's great. I love my favorite.
Is he like in a UCB class or something? He's like practicing with the character?
I wish.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
He's doing it for himself.
As far as I can tell, he's just like, dude, he'll get on these phone calls. I don't know if he's like paying like phone sex operators. I don't know who's willing to listen to him uninterrupted for this long. He was doing something the other day. It was like, the character was like, what if like an Italian mob guy really loved Michelle Obama? Like that's all I could piece together.
What an awful premise.
Bizarre. I mean, dude, Tony will be. I mean, I hide from him. He stomps around the house like some horrible giant, just the fattest man you've ever seen. He puts these like big red. I think they're potatoes or some kind of tuber. And
Yeah.
he cooks them in his fucking his what do you call it? It's microwave oven.
It's air fryer.
Air fryer.
Okay. I've never had a roommate bring in like new foods that I haven't seen before.
Oh, he's just
Well, Long will do that too. Long will just make some weird shit.
Long will, by the time he's done cooking, it looks like a prop for a movie, like something evil or like disgusting or dead that you have.
Some sort of cauldron brew.
Yeah, it's just like, are you making bile for dinner? What is that?
My girlfriend does not particularly like Long, our roommate. And,
Nobody does.
Long. Last night a few nights ago we were eating dinner in the dining room because we're the only people who ever use the dining room in the house. And then Long's like, you know what? I'm going to eat with you guys because I need to start doing my dishes apparently. And so I've decided that if I stay near the dishes, I'll do the dishes. So I'm going to sit here and dine with you guys. And Victoria just like looked at me like fucking Jim on The Office, just like, it's like,
Oh my
sorry.
God.
And so we ate dinner with Long, and then like she's just like, she dragged me away as fast as she could as soon as the dinner was over. And then
I understand being lazy about the dishes. I don't understand being indignant. Like anytime I've ever like not done my dishes, I'm always like, oh yeah, that's 100% my bad.
I got indignant back with Long because Long has shaved his disgusting beard in our sink so many times, sometimes the day after we tell him not to, and he's clogged the sink to the point of unusability. So listen, am I a spiteful man? Yes, absolutely. I won't mischaracterize myself. But I left a fucking dirty dish in the sink for days. And he's like, Nick, you need to do your fucking dishes. And I stood up out of my chair and I said, you've ruined the bathroom. You do the dish. It was a whole fight, dude.
it was a very uncomfortable conversation.
You should really
to
start
witness.
fighting your roommates.
I'm going to have to. And now I've got nobody in my corner. Well,
Yeah.
Todd will probably be in my corner.
I've never been like a physically confrontational man. I wonder what that would feel like.
I mean, I think Long stones himself into a disadvantage in terms of like a physical confrontation. Long is so stupid. Long is the only guy. This is a bonus episode. Long is the only person I know who went to college and somehow like came out so much dumber than he was before. Yeah, it's crazy. And I mean, all he does is he walks around. He listens to nothing but like political podcasts on speaker. The whole house has to hear it. And then if you talk to him about like any subject, even remotely political, he absorbs none of it. What is he doing? I'm sorry.
Anyway, the coda to that story is that Victoria and I woke up the next day and all his dishes were just in the sink. He didn't do them. He just ate with us for no reason.
What a complete idiot.
Yeah, his Long is one of these people. It's like, look, I've been pretty rudderless in my. I'll cop to it, but Long's life is so aimless that I get like existential dread if I talk to him too much.
He's learning to code. He's learning to code video games. He's going to make a video game about people.
Great. That's
interesting.
The last guy to do that, somebody we've talked about on the podcast, Peter Molyneux, one of the greatest snake oil salesmen in the industry.
Learning to code is good, but you're not supposed to learn. Like, I tried to learn to code on my own, and it was going okay. And now I'm going to school for IT, but it's like you're not supposed to learn to code to like make your dream video game. You're supposed to learn to code so that you can like.
You're overselling it. Dream video game. Long doesn't have an inkling of what he wants to make.
Yeah,
right.
You're acting like it's like some sort of deeply held ambition. He has no deeply held ambition, as far as I can tell.
Dude, it's so funny because for a while he was a streamer. He was streaming
to nobody, and he was speedrunning books. He was like reading them aloud on a
So
stream
retarded.
to nobody.
Yeah. Which is just Andy Kaufman.
Right. It sucks.
So much like alt comedy cleverness is just like literally a note for note Andy Kaufman.
Just slowing down our internet. I'm fucking lagging out in Warzone because Long is reading a book to 0 people online. I'm just like, surely I can object to this somehow. I can not be a dick.
Well, it's so funny because like we had Robert over at the house when he was still in LA, and Long, and he like we were eating on the couch watching some YouTube video, and Long came up, and Robert like casually mentioned that he was a streamer, and you would have thought that Long was like meeting Jennifer Lopez or something. Who is the most famous? Who's somebody you'd be nervous to meet? Jennifer Lopez.
Noted streamer Jennifer Lopez.
You know who I mean? Somebody who's a big deal. And after Robert left, Long was like, do you think I like fucked up? He's like, did I sound like too much? He's like, could that guy help me? And I'm like, I think you'll be fine. You idiot.
You guys don't really do the same thing, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert streams to 50 people. So, he's big time.
But that's all he needs.
That's all apparently that's all he needs.
Yeah, I'm happy to be getting out. It'll be nice to, like, if my girlfriend leaves dishes in the sink, I love her. I'll do the dishes. I don't even, it's like when it's someone I don't even like that much leaves them in the sink, I'm just like, you motherfucker. You personally insulted me.
Yeah. Dude, whenever, like, I'll just get, like, intense, like, if I walk into the bathroom and it sucks, or, like, there's dishes in the sink, or he just leaves the fucking pan of, like, just mountains of brown, I don't know what. I just have, like, intense fantasies about, like, an accident that Long gets in. You know what I mean? Like something horrible happening to him.
You're right about
rubbing
like
his nose in it like a dog. Like, is this you? Did you do this?
That's what I would look while the burner's still on.
Yeah.
It's like,
have you ever talked to your girlfriend and just frightened her with like how intense you are with like your feelings about your roommates?
No, I'm not that intense. I'm just like, normally I'm just, and cause also she like shares my feel. She's hung around Long and Tony. She's just like, those guys are weird. I don't I don't enjoy being around those guys.
Twyla hates she hates Tony. She doesn't, I don't know if she cares about Long. Her and Spencer definitely are not they're definitely on bizarre terms.
Yeah, well, Spencer was unusual.
He was an interesting guy.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting too inside inside our house. Sorry, but anyway, something that everyone can relate to is just Tony's weird comedy. just like doing bits constantly for no one in the bathtub while he's listening to music. It's just like, then why are you listening to music if you're also doing stand up at the same time?
I'll tell you, because he's like, that music is accentuating whatever like movie that is his life he's living in his head. You know what I mean?
He's the king
He's
of comedy in
jokering.
the bathtub.
Yes.
He's at Carnegie Hall.
That's why.
He's at Carnegie Hall doing his 30-minute bit about how Barack Obama could drop
A sick diss track.
a sick diss track and it would be #1 on the Billboard charts.
Everyone would love to see Obama's diss track.
and Michelle, you
What a
know she's
terrible
got to
bit.
do a verse.
She's got to do a verse. And I'm going to start
That is like
rapping.
my favorite kind of like terrible comedy is when it's constantly like, and you know this, and it's gotta this.
Dude,
It's like- it's just so common about something that's like, well, that's not true.
I feel like I honestly think if you asked Tony how much material he had, he'd be like, I don't know, like 30, 40
yeah.
hours, something like that.
Yeah, I remember
about-
when he
did-
first moved in, okay, so like a few people were just like, Tony's moving in. I'm like, he seems nice. Like, what's the problem? And like he moved in and like we were just talking the first day. He's just like, yeah, I've been doing stand up for 15 years. I'm like, 15 years?
You idiot.
I was like, Tony's not bad for someone who's 3 years in. And he's just like, yeah, I've been doing it for 15 years. I'm like, oh no, I've been trapped.
You were supposed to kill yourself. Well, that's apparently, I love that, like, apparently, like, Mike Lawrence, apparently, like, Tony Bartoloni has been a staple of hatred in the LA scene for so long that, like, Mike Lawrence will shit on Tony Bartoloni to, like, TV executives, and they're like,
Who? Yeah, my friend was talking about like going to like a pitch meeting with Mike Lawrence, and then like Mike Lawrence was making like Tony Bartoloni jokes to him in the pitch meeting in front of executives who were like, "Who is this person?" He's like, he was doing it just for me, just because he doesn't like Tony Bartoloni so much.
That
yeah,
rules.
I mean, and so I'm like on some level, it is incredible to just like live in shared proximity with like a legendary failure. I'll look back on this like 5 years from now and be like, that was cool.
yeah, like Tony's such a loser that like there could be an episode of like What the Fuck with Mark Maron where he comes up.
Yeah, dude.
There's this fucking guy, Tony Bartoloni, and I remember I was just watching him bomb, and that's when I knew I had to quit comedy. That was it, Mark.
Yeah, he just like and I think that like the funniest thing about him is like every single take, like each take is worse than the last. I saw like a clips because sometimes I'll just like Google Tony Bartoloni to see what I can find.
Get a dossier together.
We know who I am, all right? Well, I'm upfront about it. I found like I guess he was on like Jay Light's movie podcast, and it was like the question was like, "What's the worst movie you've ever seen?" And he was like Mad Max Fury Road, and I was like, every take is so bad.
Damn.
He has incredible. I cannot believe the takes.
What was
he
his
has.
reasoning?
He thought it was boring. He thought it was boring and it looked bad.
Anytime Tony says something, I'm just playing video games. I hear him talking in his room, and anytime he says something I agree with, I'm like, fuck. God damn it.
Like, he makes you want to be a Republican, doesn't he?
I mean, no, because you can be a leftist, and he's not that.
No,
he's
of
like
course
he's
not.
like a fucking like Barack Obama is Bay, and you're like, well, that's not me. Thank
Please.
God.
But he does make you reconsider.
You know that Joe Biden's going to release a fire diss track on Palestine.
Yeah.
Oh, they are the IDF is
Dissing
calling
the
it diss
children
tracks.
killed
Yeah.
by the IDF.
We don't call them missiles anymore. We prefer diss tracks. Well, yeah, it's just like, or I mean, I'll tell you what. He certainly makes me reconsider my feelings about men living on the government dole. You know?
If there's one thing I'm becoming like more and more conservative about, I'm just like, I was talking to Long the other day. Just like, yeah, man, you know, the whole thing about socialism is it's just like when the government gives you a basic income, you have the freedom to pursue what you want to do. And I'm looking at all of you, and none of you are doing anything. It makes me feel like a Republican.
Hey, I'm doing stuff.
I was like, I thought you were supposed to be like, you know, building things or something, like freed from the fucking menial labor of society. And he's like, well, yeah, I'm going to make a video game. I'm like, that's not what it meant.
No, you're not.
I went to college.
You would be doing
me
that.
that.
Long. Yeah, I mean, like, again, you know, also, I don't think he's not painting, he's not, when Isaac says that, he doesn't mean all people collecting
yeah.
unemployment right now. He
Yeah.
means Tony.
Yeah,
people around
the
me.
ones in his home.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, if that means me, I'll kill you.
That does not mean you.
If that means me.
I was like, he's like, literally, I said that, and he's like, well, Nick's doing the podcast. That was like literally Long's immediate counter. He didn't even bring up
So
himself.
it is me.
No, Long was.
Also, you got tricked into going back to work.
I did get tricked into going back to work. I shuffle home every night, completely deadened by my experience as a customer service
Yeah.
person.
I miss customer service. I'm a weird guy. but
Really?
I loved Starbucks. I loved working at Starbucks. I worked there for a year and a half, and I was like so sad that you cannot live working at you can't live on it at all.
Well, if you become a manager.
Well, I couldn't do that either. I had such a good thing going at Starbucks where
you like being on the assembly line.
I love being a cashier, interacting with customers. Customers like me. We have a rapport, and then also customers like me so much, and I'm so good at the cash register that they'd be like, Isaac, why don't you go clean the store? And he'd be like, don't want to do that. And they're like, okay, I'll go clean the store. I had such a great setup at that Starbucks.
That I understand.
Yeah, there's something nice about like a very low stakes job where you're like a fixture.
Yeah, that's what I've just been trying my whole life is to find a low stakes job that pays me enough to live. Where nothing.
It's very.
It's essentially you want the sitcom gig where it's like in a sitcom whenever somebody works at the store, there's some guy that they should be firing who does nothing, but you're the character in the sitcom who's
but
just
you're
there.
beloved. Everyone loves you. Yeah, and you do just enough not to get fired.
You're the norm of Starbucks.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the end. The thing is, 40 years ago, you used to be able to do that. You used to be able to just have a minimum wage job and, fritter your 30s away, doing whatever the fuck you wanted. You could even have a kid.
You could work at a record store. Those still existed, and you could live off that somehow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more.
No.
Now everybody's got to be, what in IT, I guess that's really the
IT.
move.
Yeah, that's how you apparently make money according to your Discord.
I had a really dark realization recently where because like me and my girlfriend, we talk about like the future and having kids and stuff, and I'm just like, well, I can't be a dad on any job I've ever had. And then I remembered like, oh no, there have been dads at all those jobs. And I'm like,
for sure.
Oh fuck.
It's a dark reality.
There was a guy at my Starbucks who I worked with who worked maybe 15 hours a week. I don't know what else he did, but he's just he had kids and he was trying to get me. He was doing some sort of pyramid scheme where it was an investment thing where he wanted me to invest my money with him, and I was just like, I'll think about it. But I was just like, God, how does this guy provide for us? I mean, I guess with the pyramid scheme, maybe if it works, but it probably doesn't.
I would be so interested to check up on that guy tomorrow, see where
I
he
can
is.
text him.
Yeah. Hey, how'd the pyramid scheme go?
Hey man, can I still invest with you? I have $40,000 now.
You're like, hey, how are your kids? He's like, oh, I ate them. I ate them 2 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. It's that's why I've really gone all in on something related to this popping off, honestly. Well, not entirely true. I have accrued a skill set out here that I could, even in another city, probably I could show them my resume and also just demonstrate my skills and probably secure a gig for a local production company and make decent money.
How do you demonstrate your skills in a job interview as a producer or whatever?
They probably ask you questions I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe I could talk to my buddies who do it on a local level back in Baltimore, but I would imagine how do they do it for any job? They ask you scenarios related to the work, and then you just say how you would deal with the problem.
I guess so.
But I also have a body of work, recorded work that I can show them and be these are my responsibilities on this. It came out like this. Please hire me.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, you're probably ahead of me because I could my job. And there are no specific skills to it whatsoever.
Right.
I answer a phone. I answer questions. I type emails. I could do that anywhere, but it's also the least unique skill set you could possibly have.
But being good at customer service is a skill set, but the thing is that
it's not a valued skill set.
It's not. I mean, the company doesn't care if you're doing a good job or not.
Right.
Yeah, as long as you're not doing a bad job.
We're misguiding everybody with this conversation because the way that you get a job, and this is always the truth, more than being qualified, more than displaying skill, the way that you get a job is by knowing somebody there and being personable in the interview. That's really how you get a job. It does not matter how qualified. I mean, some jobs, of course, qualifications matter, but in terms of
And the third thing, being able to hold a conversation about something totally unrelated to the job that is near and dear to the interviewer's heart.
Yes.
Like a sports thing, for example.
That's exactly right.
My buddy got his job at Arby's, not the restaurant, but Arby's corporate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they talked about fucking women's soccer or something for 15 minutes. He didn't at no point did they discuss the job, and then he nailed the interview, got the job.
Because dude, that's all work really is your personal. You're unless you're a total fuck up. If you're able to just fly under the radar, not fuck things up a lot, your personal relationships within a job are way more important than your actual proficiency at the job. This is something that you got if I don't know who we're reaching with this podcast, if this is actually helpful, but I swear to God, this is real advice and it will serve you if you take it to heart. Because I think that people put way too much pressure on themselves in terms of you know,
Everyone listening to this like makes more money than all
I
of
know.
us.
Yeah. That's the thing I've been trying not to say is you're like, no, here's how you succeed, and you work at an escape room.
Everyone listening to this is just like, I'm a union forklift operator. I don't need any of this advice. I can drive a forklift. It's a very
everybody in our
important
Discord
skill.
has like sick jobs.
Yeah, I mean, I work in an escape room, but also like I've like been in charge of like production budgets that were like more money than I've ever seen in my personal bank account. So I don't know, and I did that without going to college. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I went to college, and look where it got me. We live in the same house.
Yeah, it's so. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I was on my high horse, but I do think it's true.
It's definitely true. Especially for like office-y shit. Like, yeah, maybe if you can drive a forklift, or you're really good at cutting meat, or you can do whatever else the people in the Discord do, then you probably don't.
I feel
need
like
that
proficiency is how you get promoted, but like,
like
no,
that's
there's
definitely not true.
there-
Proficiency
it's-
is
oh,
how
yeah.
you get promoted. No,
There's no.
it has
such
to be about. It's I mean, a lot of personal shit too, but like, you can't like suck at the job.
yes,
Mostly.
You can. You. I mean,
It depends on the job.
It
but,
depends
like,
on the job. I think there's a great theory of like there are three kinds of people who work at a place. There are sociopaths, idiots, and losers.
we talked about this. That's right.
Yeah, sociopaths are like the highest people up. They're the big bosses, the corporate people. They don't care. They don't give a shit about anybody. They don't care what happens. And then there are idiots who are people who care about the job. And traditionally, they fall into middle management. They get promoted because they start as losers or like the lower level people. The sociopaths see they care about the job. They promote them into middle management so they can be a buffer between the sociopaths and the losers. And the losers are people who are just like, I'm just fucking here to get my paycheck and go home. I don't care about advancing. I'm here to make money until I can't make money here anymore, and then I'll leave. And so traditionally, sociopaths and losers, when the company is failing, they're the first people to get out, and the idiots are stuck left holding the bag because they're like true believers in the company.
Yeah. You don't ever be a true believer in your company unless it's your company.
Unless you made the company, in which case you're a sociopath. Sorry, you're not an idiot.
I've gotten tricked before into thinking like, I'm like, yeah, we're doing like important stuff here. But then,
Oh, you can't. You
No.
can never. You can't let that happen.
I mean, the way I compartmentalize it now is I'm just like, I like the people I work with immediately. I know that the people above them fucking would fire me if they could immediately,
meaningless to
if it saves them any money at all. Yeah. Or they could outsource my job. But I like the people. You know, and on some level, we're a family. Like applies to my actual department. But at any time, they could liquidate my entire department.
I think.
that's the thing is at my old job, my direct bosses, they did care about me, and they were very concerned with like me having a mental breakdown that was going to get me fired. But their bosses don't care at all.
No, why would they?
Yeah.
Get that. He's causing a scene.
Yeah.
We can't have
He
a
makes
scene.
us sad.
Yeah. Look at that disgusting little man crying. He's wet. He's round. I want him out of here.
Yeah. Oh, jobs hate it when you cry there.
They can't stand it.
Yeah.
They absolutely hate it. I think that like
What's a job where it's good if you cry?
I mean jobs. I mean like it's common to cry in waiting jobs.
I was gonna say, maybe at like Hooters, they're like, that's hot. She's making her t-shirt wet.
They're like, gee, if you're gonna do that, do it by table 7. They said they like it. Get out of the meat locker.
Yeah. When's the last time you guys have been to a Hooters?
Never.
I've
So weird.
never been to one.
I went like once in high school. We thought it was funny to like wear suits and go to Hooters, and then the waitress was just like, "Why are you wearing suits?" And we like couldn't explain it. She realized we were doing a bit and just got mad.
You're like, oh god, I didn't think she was allowed to like talk to us.
Yes, and we're just like, oh, I guess we're being like rude by like making fun of this
Being
place.
rude
Like,
by wearing suits.
To a Hooters. I mean,
by
it's
like
weird.
Yeah, by like being ironic, like, haha, isn't it funny that we
I
would
see.
pretend this place is good?
Right.
Yeah.
That is a really bizarre bit, dude.
We called it suitors.
And you know what? Now I like it.
Yeah.
You should have been like, we're the suitors you see.
But also back at my high school friends, we would just wear suits all the time because we were like, I was probably also the ringleader on that, but we thought it was cool.
But you would voluntarily wear suits like to school?
Not to school usually, but like I remember because we
Wait, that's worse. You wore them just recreationally, like to have fun.
Yeah, we would have like we would have like gentlemen. I know this is so gay. This sucks, but my high school friend, we would call ourselves the gentlemen, and we would wear suits.
Oh, Jordan Peterson is smiling down.
Milady.
Yeah,
Yes, he's so happy, dude.
Yeah.
I want to tell you the ghosts of Jordan Peterson and Tony Soprano. They're smoking cigars in your honor right now, Brendan.
yeah. Like I remember, like because we had like a sketch group, like a sketch comedy group. We would make videos and stuff, and we were having we were having a meeting about it of like what sketches we should make and like going over like scripts that we'd written. So we did so in suits at a hookah bar because we were we were 18, so we would go to the hookah bar all the time because you can't go to the regular bar. And I remember the stoned guy working at the hookah bar just being like, "What are you guys doing?"
I love that. That's this bit always got the same reaction. It never once went over well with any of the establishments you
Hey,
patronized.
you're wearing suits in a hookah bar.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But the thing is,
I was like, what is this?
Yeah. The thing is, like always, I got lost in the bits. Then all my friends went off to college without me, and then I would wear ties to community college. It's so funny the fact that I would dress up and wear a tie to go to community college, then not go to class.
Fail.
Yeah. And then now I have to do it again because I'm such a fuck up.
Oh my god, dude. That's so funny. To dress for success just to fail out of community college.
I was like a vest guy too. I would wear like vests and ties.
Some vests can
I would wear like
work.
I basically dressed like Ted Mosby, where I'd wear jeans and a button-up shirt tucked in and like a tie and a vest.
You know what? I can't even criticize. I got lost in the bit too in college. Like I did this thing where like on Saturday nights I'd dress in a full suit and then I'd like sit and I'd bring a chair into one of the elevators and I'd sit in the elevator.
That's
and like drunk people would come in and they'd be like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm the elevator operator." The Department of Res Life had decided that students are too drunk to operate the elevators at these hours, so they've hired people to come in and operate the elevators. And everyone would just be like, "Okay," and I'd take them to their floor. And
how many hours a night would you spend doing this?
Like 2.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
I only did it for like a month.
but I assume like you'd look like a gargoyle because they'd walk in expecting no one to be in there,
And then you just see a guy in a suit perched on a chair, reading Spoon River Anthology to himself. "Oh, hello. It's time for me to do a bit at you."
I'm on official business, perched in the elevator.
The sorority girls just look in horror as you hit like the emergency stop button.
Looks like it's just you and me.
Oh,
I guess there's a vampire in the elevator.
dude, Isaac, that is because what did you think this would? Did you think this was like a?
I thought it was funny. I literally, there was no operating principle behind it other than just I think it'd be funny to pretend to be an elevator operator. And like, it's like the sort of shitheaded like
You should have sent like a time card
comedy
to
thing
the
where you're just like,
college.
"I get it. And they don't."
right.
You're like, "I'm in on the bit," and they're not. It's just like, no, you are the bit.
Yeah.
you are.
It's
the
funny
bit to
because
them.
you're retarded.
Yeah. You played yourself.
Yeah.
I thought you thought maybe it would go like viral or something.
No, because no one filmed it. At any
Yeah.
time,
Even
nobody
more,
was filming
wasn't
it.
even-
It
Yeah,
wasn't it was
also,
being
what year
done-
was that? They would have to film it and like transfer it on mini
2011.
DV tape. To,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Like phones sucked back then.
Yes, yeah, and I remember there was a video of me in the suit. And it was just like my other roommates in freshman year who were just like, "Yeah, we're just fucking partying, dude. That's Isaac. He's going to fucking do the elevator thing." I just appear very briefly in their party video.
He's gonna do the elevator thing.
Anyway, we're gonna go get pussy.
It was a well-known nuisance. It was a famous.
Do you think anyone ever got in the elevator? They're like, it's the guy who does this.
You know, some people liked it. I'm not gonna like completely degrade it.
But do you think that you were hoping that it was going to be like because sometimes when there are like stories about characters at schools, did you think that you were like an Animal House character?
Oh, for sure. I thought it was going to be
Right.
like Skirt Guy. Like there was a
Right.
guy who walked around Maryland's campus with a skirt all the time. And I was like, "Oh, it's Skirt Guy." And there was like another guy, like 70s guy, who always just had like vintage clothes and like had like long mutton chop
My high
sideburns.
school had Cape Kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Cape Kid.
Yeah, this kid would wear a cape.
Damn, dude.
They had to, they amended the dress code just to outlaw his cape.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they let him do it.
That's terrible.
No, the school changed the dress code to outlaw capes, and then he successfully argued that it was a cloak, which kind of rules.
And cloaks are.
And today he's,
He's
a
like-
lawyer.
He's like, the definition of a cape doesn't include a hood. A hood makes it a cloak.
Damn, dude. So this guy was just like, he was running around in like a hooded cloak in school.
And I'm pretty sure they were just like, we did this so that you wouldn't get bullied. Like, come on.
Was he beloved or was he just known?
No, people were like, who's that faggot in a cape?
Yeah. That boy grew up to be Frank Costanza's lawyer. Yeah, I mean, I would say I went from like known and reviled in high school to like beloved in 11th and 12th grade. Like 9th and 10th grade.
Well,
I
you
was,
won
like,
prom king.
bullied. Yeah, I was like prom king and homecoming king. So like at a certain point, everyone's like, hey, he kind of seems like he's in on the bit a little bit. Like, you know, we should, and also we feel really bad about 9th and 10th grade. In 9th grade, at one point in gym class, like 2 guys carried me against my will into under a soccer goalpost, which they overturned and then like trapped and held it down, and then people threw soccer balls at me while I was trapped under the goalpost.
Damn, that's
awesome.
That's some like movie bullying.
It was, like,
I never
really
got bullied like that.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
should have
sick.
been.
I got bullied. I had a dude who showed up with brass knuckles to fight me.
Just a Stephen King bully.
Yeah, straight up Stephen King bully.
that rules.
Also, this was when we were in 7th grade, so it's like, it's not like they fit his hand well. He just like showed me that he had them, and I was like, what? Where the fuck did you even get those from, dude?
They're my dad. You just see his fingers are like, they keep falling off.
Yeah, I had a similar trajectory where it's like 9th and 10th grade, I was a loser, and then senior year, it's like I kind of just was like friends, knew everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I traveled among groups. Everyone like kind of knew and liked me. Like, you know, I was kind of like, oh, he's kind of kooky, but he's kind of, you know, he seems aware of it, at least at this point. You know,
Yeah.
still doesn't talk to women at all, but
That's good. He shouldn't be.
yeah, you know, I was respecting women the
I
whole
think
time.
I was only really known amongst like the theater kids. I don't think most kids knew who I was.
I remember because I don't even know if I told you that I did this, but they were just on Facebook because I don't even think we were friends that close when I was doing this. But I would go on your Facebook page and I would just like go to your first profile picture, and it's like just you like in theater productions. I think you're shirtless in one of them, and it's just like a young, handsome 17-year-old Brendan like wearing colorful outfits, hanging out with girls.
Yeah, there were a lot of girls who
Man, theater kids were so
me and my
horny.
friends, we hung out with girls all the time. We had like co-ed sleepovers with girls, and none of us got pussy.
What were you doing?
Not a single one.
The one theater program in America where the kids aren't fucking each other? What is this?
I swear it is. Because I didn't even know about that stereotype until later in life that theater kids were all fucking each other. I think the band kids might have been fucking each other.
Band kids are
horny too.
So theater kids are horny. The people who fuck the most, tech crew and band kids.
Tech crew, yeah, that's
Tech
true.
crew be fucking, okay?
Tech crew do
But
be
yeah, I
fucking.
mean, like me and like my dude, like high school friends who like I'm still friends with today. We were like, you know, like the leads and all the productions and stuff. None of us got a single scrap of
Not
pussy.
even a crumb of pussy.
No.
My pussy getting was impeded because I began.
You sound like a hotep all of a sudden. My pussy getting was impeded.
It was,
The white man impeded my pussy getting.
You see, consequentially.
impeded. Break it down now. I'm PO'd. Break it down now, y'all. Look at the word. What does it mean? I'm peed off. No, but because I began to get when I was in theater in middle school. I mean, boobs. Suddenly, boobs were in my life. We were groping. We were kissing. It was great. It was happening. Now, starting in 9th grade, my grades were so bad that I was not allowed to participate in theater, and my pussy getting trajectory fell off sharply. My rocket.
Yeah.
It was like the Challenger. I just exploded and was knocked out of the sky. It took me a year and a half to get back on track, and that's time that I'll
Yeah.
never get back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
you're-
understand how he didn't get put because like. It's like in theater, you're with those girls like 12 hours a day. So like
You're changing with them.
yeah, you're like in class. Well, we never did that, but like you're like with them all day in school, and then you're hanging out with them for like 4 hours after school.
Yeah.
For like at least half the year, and we'd play like strip games and like there'd be like back rubs and massages and like
Here's a
cuddling,
tiny violin
and not
for
a
you
single
guys.
one of us, not a single one of us, I guess, could
You think
close.
You think Quiz Bowl had a lot of girls hanging around? You think I had my pick of the quiz as the captain of the team? You think I had my pick of the Quiz Bowl girls?
Dude, I remember there was like, literally, I would say the most egregious I ever got was in 8th grade. This was for, what was the production? Was it? Oh no, it wasn't Honk. It was Schoolhouse Rock. And there was
Honk. What is Honk?
the ducks who love each other. I was the
Okay.
cat. It was a huge part.
Nick and I have actually both played Greylag in Honk.
No, I was the cat.
Oh, you were the cat.
I was not Greylag. I was the cat. I
Okay.
a huge part for me.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah. Listen. Well, listen to this, Isaac.
Okay.
On the rap party, we all went to like the Holy Grounds, which was like this. It was like the original church of like the place that my church became, but they still had the building, so it was like a little youth center. And I mean, we were just in like a 13-year-old teenage cuddle puddle where like me and the other.
Oh yeah, Cuddle Puddle. That's what it was called.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's a fucking ecstasy rave term.
Oh,
It's
really?
Yeah, it's funny that's what we were.
That it trickled down to high school.
Down to
kids.
high school, and we were both just like laying on either side of the girl who was leading the play. The one, I'm not using any names. The one lead was groping her right tit. I was groping her. It was like a scene from Caligula. Where it's just like it's just like theater kids
I
laying on each
can't
other's
imagine
pussies.
being like a parent whose house was like like I can't imagine being the dad and there's a cast party in my house just walking around being like, ugh,
Disgusting.
look at all these nerds almost getting pussy from these like I think that would frustrate me more. It's like,
How can you not seal the deal?
yeah, it's like you're both gonna be here overnight. Like those cast parties, they would be like all nighters. So it's like, how are none of you getting pussy in my home?
We would do that with we would have when I was on improv. We would have co-ed improv sleepovers, and there was like literally one night where I don't want to use names. I have to be careful. But I know we just did the Tony thing, but
It's
this
so funny. That would be so
This is
so
where you
funny to
draw
do.
the
Like
line. People you actively live with are okay,
Yeah.
but people you will never see again.
because I'm talking about kids, dude.
it is funny to like pussy brag about some woman you haven't seen in 20 years.
No, I mean like this guy's dad. It was what you're saying. Where I'll say Ian's dad was basically just like, "Are you guys gonna do anything with those girls downstairs? Not like, don't like, please do. They're
Yeah.
drying out. Help those women."
Yeah, we would always like us and like our friends who were women, we would always like stay at our buddy Mike's house, and I know that it was just because Mike's parents knew like, oh, Mike, Brendan, these boys aren't getting pussy.
They're not gonna get no pussy. It's safe,
There's no way anything's going down there.
dude. I'll never forget. I like this was post high school, but I went to this chick's house for her birthday party because she was back in town. She had like on her way to college. She was back in town, so there's a big party at her house, and there were all these girls there. I wasn't even expecting. It's nice when you get pussy and like you weren't even gunning for it. Where like everybody's drinking downstairs. Your parents are really cool. It's a really big house, and gradually like people start to like leave the party, and then like the one girl there who's super like I still think about her to this day because I was just batting way out of my league. She was
Those memories are weird because in your memory she's underage, but you're still like,
No,
no.
in your memory, she's like your age now.
Also, she was
you always visualize a woman who's like
Yeah.
your age.
yeah, she was 18.
That's what I was gonna say. Is you age them up? Where like if I saw like if you showed me what my memory is, I'd be like, oh my god,
no.
gross.
No, but we were both 18. This was outside of high school, and like. So some people were spending the night. A lot of people were leaving. I was getting ready to leave, and then this girl just like sits next to me and like puts her hand on my leg, and she's like, "You're gonna stay, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay for sure." And we we got the whole basement to ourselves, and she, for whatever reason, decided to, while we were having sex, give me hickeys that literally turned my neck and shoulders black. And I had to go to work the next day, and I was like, "I love this. This is great." What could the possible consequences of this be? And so the next morning, I walked and so like all of Morgan's family is there because it was her birthday. So like her grandmother, her aunt, her mother, they're all having like coffee and breakfast like at the island in this like very nice kitchen. And I just walk upstairs, and I guess like my neck was so noticeably fucked up and bruised that like I come out of the basement and her grandmother goes, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I fell down the stairs at a very specific angle a couple times.
I fell asleep on a hot plate. I'm sorry. And so then her whole family, because her mom was like, "Nick, you need to go like into the bathroom and like look and see what happened." And I was like, "Oh my god, I have to go work at the cell phone kiosk today. What am I gonna do?" And so they fucking they caked like, you know, a Hollywood amount of like foundation and makeup on my neck. So I just like showed up at work with a very dull neck. Just everybody knew what was going on.
Yeah. at my school, the theater power couple was like, there's this guy who was the lead in all the plays, and then there's this girl who was dating him, and the guy was gay. He was obviously gay.
Tales
Oh,
of
we
his time.
we had a couple of those.
Yeah, and it was just like, I remember the girl was talking to like a few people, including me. I was somehow in this circle for some reason. She's just like, yeah, I tried to blow Jacob last night, and he didn't want it. I don't get it. And everyone's just like, yeah, it's so weird.
I remember it was really funny that we had this one kid in our theater program who was like obviously like extremely flamboyantly gay, and there was this like super religious girl who was like, they weren't dating or anything, but she was just like super close friends with him, and apparently she like came to him with like a Bible and was like, you need to change your ways because you're going to hell. And he thought it was because he was gay, but she didn't know that he was gay. She just knew that he was Jewish.
God, I'm just imagining the fucking conversation.
It's like, because I'm gay, she's like, you're gay? Like, she had never met it. She had no, because she had only seen like religious movies, so she had no concept of what a gay person acts like. Because we had like a fucking like intense like fundamentalist church.
Really?
Yeah, that a lot of the girls were very hot too.
Yeah, we had that too,
Yeah.
actually.
It's I hate how that always
Manuel's
happens.
church. It was like every fucking kid in my elementary school went there except me.
It's actually where it was the only like local place that was big enough for like us to have our graduations. So we would graduate. I graduated there, and it was weird because there were all kinds of like intense like tapestries on the wall and shit.
Oh, I love those tapestries. That's my favorite part of Intense Church is like the
Yeah.
you know like the stained glass of like Jesus's dead.
No, but
body.
that's Catholic.
right. Oh, so
This
was
is like
even-
Fundy.
Yeah, this is like fundamentalist. So it's like it's just fucking weird. I can't even like really give you an example of what it is.
Right.
It's like I don't know.
No, I get no. You're right.
It's like it's soy Catholicism.
yeah, fundies are intense in like a total in a way that is devoid of any history or art.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly. There's nothing, you know, you don't feel like you're in the presence of glory or God when you're there. You're just like, I'm in the presence of weird people.
Yes. yeah. Yeah, we would go to those places when I would go on the road for puppet ministry. What can I say? We would go to like weird, like fundamentalist churches, and it's just like the whole aesthetic and vibe in there is just like, what you guys like coming here? There's no semblance of comfort in this entire building.
I mean, I went to the other direction as a kid because my parents,
Unitarian?
yeah, we were Unitarian.
I went to a Unitarian church for. It's funny. My religious journey was like. So dad's Catholic. I think my mom was Lutheran, and then like my mom wanted to try Unitarianism, and I think the whole family was like, "Fuck this, this sucks." Then I went to preschool in a Baptist church, one of those Baptist churches that have like a lot of Korean people in it,
Okay.
and then Presbyterian.
Okay. Yeah, that seems like the eventual thing you'd
Where
arrive at.
you meet in the middle ground
Yeah.
between like Protestant. I mean, it's still Protestant, but it's like closer to like Calvinism, Catholicism.
Exactly. Yeah. My Unitarian church was just like, my parents were like, my mom was like, grew up Southern Baptist, hated it, black sheep of her family. My dad was like raised by like secular Jews. And so they're just like, but our son should go to something. So let's just take him to what is basically nothing. We're just like sitting there singing like atonal hymns all day. Our nothing is so good. We love science. That's like the whole fucking Unitarian creed.
Yeah, all the tapestry in Unitarian churches is really weird. It's not even like remotely religious. Like,
Yeah. It's just it's all candles.
it is.
Lutheranism is
They have chalices, and then they have pictures of chalices on the wall.
and they've got tapestries of birds that are not doves. Like I remember there were these like tapestries of like eagles and mice. Like in the, it was very weird, dude.
damn. That's Lutheranism. I feel like it was, since it was like the first one breaking off from Catholicism, I feel like they just stopped at we're not Catholic, and then they didn't add on any of their other beliefs.
Right.
So like I remember in Sunday school that like the teacher just straight up told us, they're like, it's okay if you don't believe in this stuff.
Hell yeah. That's my kind of church. Yeah, my church, like Unitarianism has like comprehensive sex ed. Like you take comprehensive sex ed in middle school and then again in high school, and none of it stuck.
Damn.
I went through so much sex education in my church, and I still did, like when it came time to have sex, I still didn't remember that you have to like go in and out. I don't know if they taught me that or not, but
That is so funny
years
that you
to
didn't
learn
know
that.
about thrusting.
I trusted in, and then I was just like, I guess this is it. And I stayed in there.
Isaac heard like the phrase "the motion of the ocean," and he was like, "Yes, the famously still ocean."
The ocean at night by the cliffs of Dover.
Some call it the ocean. I call it the Grand Pond.
Yeah. That's so sick.
Dude, I went home for Christmas a couple Christmases ago for Unitarian, and they had me operate the light board. They just conscripted me because they're like, you're young and you know technology and you're the only young person here. You're going to operate the light board for the Christmas service. And I just sat there. I just like, I mean, I don't believe in God, but this is too much or too little, I guess. I don't know, because they're like, it's December 25th, the birth of Jesus, the Son of God. Or just a guy, depending on how you feel about it. That was like the whole sermon. I'm just like,
Oh, that was the guy actually fucking said.
I was just like, pick a lane.
Yeah,
It's Christmas. We're at the Christmas service. You can do a little Christmas.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't. My girlfriend's church is like that, where their whole slogan is like, "We're church for people who are convinced church is irrelevant." It's like, but I came. Like
Yeah,
I'm here.
What the fuck?
If it's irrelevant, I just wouldn't go.
Yeah, it. I didn't enjoy going there.
Right.
And I like it enough, but it's like the whole thing is designed to like cater to people who don't want to be there. It's like, we're here.
Then just don't go to church.
Yeah.
I mean, you pick exactly. You choose one. Either you go for the harder shit eventually, or you just stop going. I stopped going.
I loved that Paul Schrader quote around the time the First Reformed was coming out, where he was talking about, he was like, even if you're not religious, he's like, there's great value in being a child and learning how to be bored. Like he's like that's one of the great lessons of church.
God, so true.
Yeah, that is.
It really is. And what's funny,
I bet kids are all like playing like Minecraft and stuff now.
dude, I remember they created a special, because I mean, I think it was for young babies at first, but like they created a special soundproof portion of the sanctuary where you could like take in babies who were crying, but it just became kids on iPads. Like when I went back like recently, like around Christmas, it was just kids playing fucking video games.
Hey kids, why don't you build an ark in Minecraft, huh? And, the Noah's Ark, it's 40 cubits by 40 cubits, and those things look like cubes. So how about it, huh? Gather up 2 of every animal. Make sure to get the creepers on there.
You know so much about Minecraft.
That's basically all I know.
You would be a great youth pastor.
Oh, I think I would. The problem is I don't believe in any of it, so it'd be pretty rough.
That is a hindrance.
It is. Yeah.
I'll never forget like one time, because we would go to I would go to those like church retreats, which that was like it's funny, as my church became more modern, it leaned more into like the weird, like when you go to a church retreat, no matter what denomination you're from, it's got a weird fundy vibe to it, where it's like, no, our
church retreat was great.
Was it great?
Yeah, we went up to like the mountains near West Virginia, I guess, and
I think
it was near Camp David. That's where it was.
What was it? The Great Escape?
Katahdin.
But what was the name of the church retreat?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't remember?
It was just called Katahdin, I think, our annual church retreat, and we just like play sports, have fun plays. One service that was just like any other Unitarian service. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was right. So this probably wouldn't be affiliated. If it was Unitarian, it wouldn't be affiliated with like the.
No.
Okay, they were fun. Like the games were fun. We did like the big, huge game of like shaving cream, tag, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was weird. The fact that we had to like go to a concert every morning of like a Christian rock band, and then there was like a Christian comedian that would like get us pumped up every day. But then at night we would all have to go out and like pick our own rock to lay on and like talk to God, which and like I don't know, like
You're just jerking off. You're just like, finally I'm alone.
well, there actually was one church retreat where like the youth pastor's son was like spied across the lake. They got like a big spotlight because they saw kids, and the youth pastor's son was just like fucking some girl, like straight, like full penetrative sex, like outside on the lawn.
It's just like in the water. He's like, I was baptizing her.
Yeah, I saved her.
She was gay. I had to trans her.
But
Yeah, just African style.
well, okay, but so where I'm going with this is like, so we all had to go out and talk to God and like reconvene with our group and tell everybody what God told us, which is high pressure.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's weird. So
Shouldn't be doing that.
So our youth pastor, Mr. Steve, he was like, I'll kick it off. And he told this story about how like he was like, like communing with God, and God was telling him just to trust him. And he's like, and I just kept hearing this voice saying, Steve, quit your job. quit your job, you know, everything will be okay, quit your job. And he's like telling us this, and I'm like, we're supposed to be silent, but I go, Mr. Steve, do not quit your job. I was like, that's a bad idea, please do not quit your job.
Damn, he's telling the kids that God told him to stop being a youth pastor.
No, not being a youth pastor.
His day job.
No, his real job.
Oh, okay.
He was talking about quitting his, and I was friends with his son Zach, and like I knew his wife, and I was like, they have a really big house. That would be so bad if Mr. Steve quit his job.
I wish that God spoke to me that way, but he doesn't. So to me, that sounds like he's just telling himself.
He's like, he's justifying.
Yeah.
He
said to me, Steve, you gotta fuck your secretary. You gotta do it. Trust me, I'm God.
Man, I always wonder, because like a lot of people become pastors. Like I don't think, like priests, I think you become a priest from like 18 or whatever. But I think a lot of people become pastors as like their second career.
Oh, for sure. I have a second cousin. I don't know what our relation is. Who's in North Carolina, but he's like he's becoming a pastor now in his like 50s.
But I can't imagine like what if you became a pastor and then like you're 10 years in, you stop believing in God. You're like, oh fuck, I gotta ride this one out.
You mean a priest or a pastor? Because if you're a pastor, I think you just fucking
stop.
You bail. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We would go through pastors like crazy at my church.
Yeah. No, I feel like. I bet priests, there's a decent percentage of them who don't believe in God at all.
Dude, there are cardinals in the Vatican where it's like there are interviews with them where you're like, oh, are you just enjoying this position?
Yeah. You watch documentaries like as much as this movie sucks and Bill Maher sucks, but like in Religulous, he's talking to like dudes at the Vatican. They're like, oh yeah, we don't believe in that. It's like, you don't?
Well, I think there's a misconception about Catholicism in that it's like the fundamental hard line, the Bible is the word of God. Like people think that's what Catholicism is, but Catholicism is actually one of the religions that's openly like, this is all open for interpretation. They don't think that the creation myth is literal. It's offshoot religions that do like people who are fundies think that the Bible is the literal word of God. Catholics don't. But no, it's funny. You can just like on YouTube, you can just like watch interviews with like cardinals in the Vatican, and a lot of them are like fucking. You're like, I would fuck. These people are cool, man.
I'd chill with this guy.
Yeah, they're really cool and open minded.
Well, I'd imagine all the boy pussy keeps you pretty loose.
It does. Your horizons really get expanded once you cross the threshold and fucked a child.
Yeah, I always like anytime I think about Catholicism, I'm like, yeah, that kind of rules. Like I think and then I remember the boy fucking. I'm like, oh, huge deal breaker.
But yes, but to be fair,
the boy fucking, they've been looking strongly into it, Brendan. they've looked pretty strongly into it. And
the boy fucking and the pedophilia also happens in every sect of Christianity.
I don't think that's true.
It certainly does.
I wouldn't say in Unitarianism.
Right. Yeah. Well, if you're counting that as a sect of Christianity.
Yeah,
no,
No, I mean, a lot of it, I think, is because it's the vow of celibacy. Like, most Protestants don't have a vow of celibacy.
The Catholic Church is starting to lift the vow of celibacy, and I think it started in South America.
So they're like, all right, we gotta get these boys some pussy because their wires are crossed.
It's just no one wants to do it. They literally, the priests are just like, I can't fuck ever again. I mean, I love God, but come on, I'm not gonna fucking do that.
Yeah, maybe if I fuck somebody who's not a girl and not an adult, he's like, hey, you didn't say.
I mean, at this point, I think at this point, like, I mean, priests have been fucking boys so much that people become priests knowing that that's the deal. Like, I'm pretty sure the priest uniform is the same as like a handkerchief coming out of your back pocket. So they're signaling to each other around the rectory.
They're doing the handshake with the one finger.
I love the idea of a confused priest who's just like, where are the altar boys? And they're like, we're Episcopalian. He's like, no.
Well, I think they're starting to, like, because I know in South America, but I think it's mainly to spread the religion. They're allowing priests to take wives or already be married just so that people who are in marriages can become priests. But I have a feeling the vow of celibacy thing is going to be lifted. Like,
it should. So that,
it should, yeah.
Yeah. Also, they should chill on gay people because, like, I think that's also a thing is it's like, oh, I'll just become a priest and then I never have to admit to anyone that I'm gay. I
don't think Catholics are as hardline on...
The cool Pope has been like, gay people, it is a sin, but it's not that bad.
Yeah,
that's like his whole stance. Yeah,
they'll shift like in the next Pope will be like, and also if you listen to these fucking cardinals, like they're all pretty fucking chill on like some of the debates they have on like homosexual relationships and abortion are very interesting. and like way less hardline than you would imagine.
Yeah, the official stance probably all just comes down to it's like, well, we can't upset Mexican moms, so
They're such a huge piece of the pie.
Yeah.
We can't alienate our demo.
yeah, Mexican and Italian moms, we can't just tell them that being gay is cool.
The two most upsettable moms.
You know what they got to do? They got to bring back the Nazi Pope. They want to show the world they mean business. Bring back the Nazi Pope.
We miss the Nazi Pope.
We missed the Nazi Pope.
Is that the one who like stepped down?
Yeah, that was the guy that
Yeah.
got replaced.
The
by
only one
the
ever.
cool Pope. Yeah,
Like-
Benedict something.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of maybe a Nazi potentially.
I miss the emo Pope. I miss whipping himself, sleeping on cold floors. John Paul II. I love the emo Pope, dude.
Dude, they Catholics talked that guy up so much.
Oh, they love people.
They love John
Nobody,
Paul II.
nobody has framed pictures of Pope Francis. Catholics were fucking hanging up pictures of John Paul, dude.
He was the Ringo of popes. He got the most fan mail.
That's true.
I feel like Protestant pastors probably more get pussy, especially like megachurch guys.
Oh, they get.
the mega church
especially like
guys.
black megachurch guys for sure.
They are kingdom men. We call them kingdom men. Okay, they are getting pussy. They're
Yeah.
in their castle, dude.
Like Cedric the Entertainer in First Reformed, that guy is fucking.
Of course he's fucking. Yeah, dude, Cedric the Entertainer, he's the Chad megachurch pastor versus the incel Ethan Hawke priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a total Chad versus incel. That movie is really just Chads versus incels.
It really
And it
is.
ends with an incel.
And we know who's who comes out on top.
Yeah, we
comes
know
out
who
on
the
top.
hero is.
I'm getting ready to rewatch that movie.
Yeah, I mean, really, every Schrader movie is the
it's the
He's
Chad
doing-
versus incel.
the
movie.
Chad God
doing a
versus the
poker
incel
movie?
Christ.
I'm so excited.
No, yeah, dude. It's the card counter. Except apparently he's a card counter. He's in Vegas, but then the synopsis is somebody comes to him and asks him to help him kill like an army, some higher up who like wronged this guy when he was in the military. So he like basically coerces him into helping him kill this
Look,
person.
all I know is that Joe Stapleton, who's a poker commentator, like apparently like consulted on the movie.
I'm sure it's going to be really Paul Schrader. He gets into the nitty gritty of everything.
I mean, he's been trying to play poker online for years.
oh my, they will.
They won't let him. They won't let Paul play.
He's so horny.
I bet that's why he started playing online poker was like I never even fucking put that together. Dude, I hope that he wrote a plot line into the movie where Oscar Isaac gets kicked out of a game for like asking about Bob and Vagine.
Yeah.
Wow, this dealer is so pretty, and everyone's like, Oscar Isaac, leave. We are banishing you unfairly.
Paul Schrader is such an incel. It rules. Now I'm just imagining like a Travis Bickle monologue about like Stacy's.
God, that's so awesome. You know the difference between him and me? 3 millimeters of bone. Like just like yeah, Travis just like bitching to the guys in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be awesome if like one part of Taxi Driver was like Travis Bickle like saving up money for plastic surgery, like
Yeah.
building an arsenal.
He's just because of
That would be
bigger
funny.
chin.
Yeah, I would love like incel remake. It's the scene where he like goes up to like the apartment to buy the guns, but he just like it's Travis and he goes to Vegas and he goes to the top of Mandalay Bay and Stephen Paddock. He's like, all right, I got this.
He's like, you gotta hurry. I got something
Yeah.
I'm doing in 20 minutes.
You can't buy all of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travis points to the AR with the bump stock. He's like, what about that one? He's like, I can't let you have that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I want that movie. I
need 6 guns for some reason. Instead of just reloading, you know?
Yeah.
And none of them are going to look like they were positioned when the photos come, you know?
Yeah, R.I.P. Stephen Paddock, a framed king.
I have no idea what I think. I keep like every time I look at Ben Avery's Twitter, I then just go into like a deep dive on Stephen
Dude,
Paddock.
yeah,
so
there's,
weird.
There's so many rabbit holes you can go down with Ben's Twitter.
Yeah, it's true. But to me, it is. The craziest part of it is just that Stephen Paddock's brother was like, "Yeah, I don't know why you would do this." Then just instantly gets arrested for child pornography.
Yep.
It's like, they got him quick
Funny how that happens.
with some convenient child porn on what looks to be like an old Dell.
Yeah, they will get you in the end every time. Yeah, Stephen Paddock is one where I'm also, and I try to have like a take about everything, much to my own detriment.
Yeah,
but
it's one of those where it's just like I can't figure it out.
I know more about aliens than I know about Stephen Paddock. Like I'm more sure about like tall grays than I am about Stephen Paddock.
Have you watched the interview with like the security guard from Mandalay Bay?
No.
He's done one interview on Ellen, and he has
I remember that.
He has a handler there with him who it's like unclear who that guy is. There's like a guy in a suit sitting next to him, and Ellen is like, "Now you're gonna tell your story so that you never have to tell it again." And that guy just like doesn't live in America anymore.
That is so fucking creepy, dude.
Yeah. And he's like very like I would love to see one of your YouTube channels of like body language experts analyzing this guy.
Oh, damn. I wonder if that I'm going to look this up when I go home.
Yeah, Ellen is like leading him through the events and
Do you
stuff.
think that like with how close Ellen is to the Bushes now and just like obviously do you think that she's like a fucking intelligence asset too? Do you think that like this is
Then
like
why is Ellen ending, Nick?
why that's what a good question.
Why did Epstein get arrested? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh, there's so much I want to know. I wish that I could have all this knowledge so bad.
You'd be burdened by it.
No, because I think I would just keep telling people about it. And because the joy is in the work for me. The joy is in spilling my guts about all this shit and watching my coworkers like get uncomfortable and start looking at their feet. Like I would not be burdened by this knowledge. It would be the greatest gift.
Yeah, the best part of the knowledge is just like watching your girlfriend slowly fall out of love with you over the course of like just the worst pillow talk ever.
Well, last night it was so bad because last night my coworker was like asking me about like Israel and Palestine and like why we give like money to Israel, and I basically.
Nice colorful Isaac.
You're pro-Palestine.
No, I am. It's true.
But and so it's starting the place where I was just like trying to explain to him like the grievances between Israel and the Palestinian territories, and then he started like asking me questions going deeper and deeper, and then we got into Epstein, and like within 10 minutes I was telling him about like Moloch the owl god and you know blood sacrifice and Steven Spielberg and the Dome of Silence. But the nice thing is because I sounded really smart talking about like war crimes and like past atrocities that have been committed in pro-Israel propaganda, when I got to Alex Jones' human monkey hybrids, he was like, damn, that's really fucked up. I was like, yeah, thank you.
Did I ever tell you how I got into like the like Moloch and everything? How I got turned on to that?
No.
I was just walking in South Philly, and somebody had written on a wall, "Google Bohemian Grove."
God bless that person. That's what you have to do.
That's the only way they're not going to catch you.
Is if you write it on a wall.
Yeah, Nick, if you ever got all that knowledge, I'd know because I'd be like, oh, they arrested Nick for child pornography. Wow, that's crazy. Would have never pegged him. I didn't even know he had a computer.
Yeah. Or just suddenly the show would go on with like a body double Nick, like a plastic surgery like lookalike.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's my Paul McCartney double.
Yeah, your Paul McCartney double, just like leading me through pre-planned topics while there's clearly like you can see like in the shadow of the light there's a gun like right off camera.
There's a red dot on your forehead for the entirety of the show.
This is the last Coward Hour ever. We decided mutually to end it. And Nick, you wanted to talk about the amazing work that the U.S. government's doing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's gonna be fun when they finally get me. I would trade. Dude. If I could have if I could even just have a taste of all that knowledge, I would probably be like, all right, yeah, kill me.
Should we once the Patreon's cooking a little bit more, should we like live in a different country? Should we be like some of those people who like live in Asia?
No, because
we'd be like the only non-perverts doing that.
Because we always you know where it ends up. You create 8chan. There's no dude. Here's the problem. If I move to Asia, there's no way I don't become Q. You know what I mean?
No, you're gonna become the antivirus guy, McAfee. Yeah,
I would love to be Q or John McAfee.
It would be so funny to like make my girlfriend. I'm like, look, I'm making like if the Patreon gets like $2,000, I'm like, look, we're gonna move to Thailand and live on $1,000 a month. Very well.
You could live on like $75 a day in Thailand. Like it's like crazy.
I live on $75 a day here.
I know, but like a king, Brendan. Going to just flashing that American money at night markets, you would do well.
Until you die, until you're killed by somebody.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, just
flashing your American money for 2 days before you're beheaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a sick life. That's also, we have to make it higher than 2,000 because that means that ideally we'll be moving in like 8 months if that's the goal. I'm not ready to go. You know.
Folks, tell your friends about this podcast.
Yeah, please, so we can go to Thailand and invent a new movement. I don't know.
It'll be a good movement. You'll like it.
Oh, I'm posting on image boards. Somebody stop me. You know. All right, is that you think we got a good one for the bonus?
Yeah.
Nice. You plugged on the first episode. I'm
plugged already.
I'm gonna plug the Coward Hour live show, Auto Bar, Baltimore, Maryland, July 10th. Posters made. Gonna be throwing that up really soon. You should be able to buy tickets on the website soon. Right now it's not listed, but keep an eye out for it. And,
Sick venue, great venue. Love the Auto Bar.
Auto Bar's awesome. We're gonna have so much fun.
It's going to be so sick.
Cool. I think that's it. And shirts are still available on Hard Times. Nice.
Watch my YouTube video.
Watch Isaac's YouTube video. All right. See ya.
Knock, knock, open up, it's me, the crazy, shady, faded fucker, so rock the G. See a lady, make a baby, lead her on in peace. Only time I give a fuck is for my own release. That's why I own these streets. Straight up, portfolio showing growth, fuck a pay cut. Yeah, you know I stay slut. Catch me in the spot, looping up for the self-suck.